Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open Table Adventures. I am Dan the Baker, and today we are going to be playing some Triangle Agency. But before we get into all of that, I would like to introduce you all to my fabulous field agents, starting this way.
I think it looks backwards on your camera.
Does it?
I think this me.
Starting with them.
I'm Storm Sorceress on all social media. She, they, and I will be playing Margot.
Hi, hello. I'm Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet, and I will be playing Maude, she, they.
Hi there. My name is VJ Harris. I am. My pronouns are they, them, he, him, and something funny. And you can find me at VJH Creations everywhere on the internet except for Instagram, where I'm VJH_creations. And yeah, that's me. Wait, am I supposed to say who I am? My character's name?
Sure.
Hi, folks. This isn't getting cut out, so I'm Mike Johnson. Sorry, Mick. I'm Mick Johnson. How am I messing up my own name?
It's a mystery.
As I said, I am Dan the Baker. You can find me at Dan_the_Baker, wherever I want you to be found me. I will be the general manager for these fabulous field agents. To tell you guys a little bit more about this wonderful game that we are playing, say hello to Mr. President.
Hello, my name is Lee, and as president of the Triangle Agency, may I be the first to say, welcome. Here at the Triangle Agency, we are responsible for many important tasks, but you, our field agents, are mainly responsible for the continued stabilization of reality through the tracking of and neutralizing anomalies. Anomalies are bits of reality that have broken, tears in the fabric that negatively impact the world around them. They manifest in many different ways and in many different places. That's why we have many locations around the world. And you are lucky enough to be employed in our Appalachian Division. The Appalachian Division is a broad range from Alabama to Maine and everything in between. The Appalachian Division was founded in 1820, can you believe it or not, by a man named John Bell after his family was tortured and tormented by an anomaly for years. It then moved in 1889 to an underground building built with permission from George Washington Biltmore, beneath what is now known as the Biltmore Mansion in Asheville, North Carolina. Along with your duties as field agents, you are also tasked with responsibilities in the agency itself, from R&D, CEOs, reception, to even to clowns. All these jobs help keep the agency running. Speaking of which, you better get started. And once again, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life.
Now, to start us off, we zoom in to Asheville, North Carolina, right near the long stretch of Appalachian Mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina, and we zoom in even further to the Biltmore Mansion. And we see all the people coming in, visiting, taking pictures of the gardens, taking pictures of the wonderful architecture. We zoom in even further underneath the Biltmore, where we enter the Triangle Agency Appalachia Division. I can't say on the surface because it is below the surface, but seems to be a normal-ish office environment, very clean floors, that kind of harsh overhead lighting that kind of gives you a headache. People moving about, there's janitors with mop buckets, people pushing carts filled with papers, and there's the receptionist, phones ringing, there's people in breakout rooms having their little meetings. But I would specifically like to know, where do we find Margot?
So I think at this point, you find Margot not stalking through the halls, but at a nice clip, kind of pacing through the halls. It definitely looks like she's trying to find something or someone, but she is trying to be as subtle as she can and is not doing a good job of just busily going through. And you see her kind of like duck under a table really quick, looking for something, someone, doesn't find whatever she's looking for, and then continues onward, just kind of looking back and forth, circling around, and then just through the halls.
Can you also, what does Margot look like?
Margot kind of looks like what I have right now, which is why I love doing the cosplays. Curly brown hair, freckles, brown eyes, a bit tanned, but fair skin, and is... Does the agency require a uniform?
No, but like it's like that kind of professional dress.
Okay. She's trying the professional dress. So buttons, just perpetually leaves the top button like open. Has what looks like a lot of things in her pockets currently. And has a watch that she always has on her, like a old school, well, I guess in our setting, old school, like the green watches that you like light up and they like glow, old school, like 80s type wristwatch. And yeah, so she's frantically looking for something or someone.
I think you are like ducked underneath a like a desk, like looking, when you hear a like knock on top of the desk, and you see a gentleman standing, kind of leaning up against the desk. You know, this is one of your coworkers, whose name is Floyd. He looks down at you and says, "Margot, is there anything I can help you with?"
No, I think I got it. No, I'm good. I was just... Do you know Fractal?
Yes, yeah, I do know Fractal.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen you with Fractal a few times.
Yeah, they're missing, so I'm trying to find them.
Could they be under my desk?
They find places all the time, so I'm just looking. They could be behind you right now, but I need to figure that out.
There, yeah. Fractal's a hide behind, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Floyd
hiding behind you, potentially.
Yeah. Floyd stands up, from leaning. You see he's wearing kind of similar to what I'm like, white shirt, button down, black tie, but has like almost like army cargo pants, and boots. And he holds up a finger. He says, "1 sec." And he starts just backing up while maintaining eye contact with you. There's like a structural column behind him, and he backs up until his back touches it, and he reaches around the column, and by like kind of like the scruff of the of his neck pulls out Fractal.
There you are. Why are you hiding from me?
Can you describe what Fractal looks like?
Fractal is slightly difficult to describe, but mostly a dark shape, kind of smaller, red eyes, too many joints. It's hard to figure out how many exactly. Looks kind of like a black bear if you really squint, like from very far in the different distance, maybe, but more lanky and Slender Man-esque. Yeah. So Margot thinks it's cute. I'm sure most of her coworkers do not think Fractal is cute.
Mm-hmm. You see Floyd puts Fractal down, and Fractal scrambles over to you, and kind of like, are you still like kind of crouched under the desk at this point, or have you still?
Yeah, I think she would have stood up at this point.
He's like, or they're like scratching at your like at your waist a little bit, like lovingly. Or you're assuming lovingly. It's hard to tell. Like their facial expressions are a little like, wonky. But you've come to understand that this is a sign of affection.
Yeah, she'll pick up the creature and like just kind of like unceremoniously like put Fractal behind her back. So usually it like latches on at that point. Kind of like a weird koala.
Yeah, fully. He's a weird, very strange backpack. Floyd then says, it's cool. Morning meeting in 20 minutes. So
sure, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, see you there. Then we away from that to find Maude.
I think you see Maude. Maude has like hair back in like a ponytail, sort of like half like messy, like brown hair, tired eyes, has like stacks of coffee cups on their desk, just sort of layered on top of each other. They're sort of becoming this like tower. And you see Maude like furiously scribbling on pieces of paper, just like scattered throughout the desk, like picking up a book, flipping through it, slamming that shut, picking up another piece of paper, scribbling on that, jamming that in a different book, and just sort of doing a lot of research at their desk.
And you described their like messy hair. What else? How else does Maude look?
So otherwise, like kind of. What is the word I'm looking for? Academic in sorts. They in their reality are a substitute teacher, so they're always wearing something appropriate that if they get called in emergency wise to substitute teach, they're like somewhat presentable button up blazers, maybe some slacks or jeans and what have you. Not a lot of jewelry, just sort of very studious looking in an attempt to, besides everything else going on, portray like I know what I'm doing.
Yes. I think as you're kind of furiously working, I think you've gotten to a point like you're doing your like math, your equations, and you're a little stuck. Like you keep having to like circle back and figure things out. You feel someone like standing over your shoulder, kind of looking down. Look like you feel like someone is like looking at your work as you're going.
Can I help you? Like not even looking up is just sort of like more paper shuffling.
You see bending over is your supervisor, who goes by the name Aces, who is a young person who has like very thick kind of Coke bottle glasses with messy blonde hair. Their like shirt is like wrinkly and untucked. And they like lean down and are looking over your math and points and says that decimal point should be over there.
You are so right. And just like drags it over, like scribbles it out, stabs another one. Yeah, that looks better. Thanks.
That should work. Yeah. That's what is this for? What are you doing?
I am trying to find out if we can weaponize caffeine into bullets.
Okay.
I just think it would be interesting.
I think we could. Should.
Just imagine you can go faster if you get immediately into the bloodstream.
So this is you're shooting it at like an ally or like at yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it hurt?
Yes.
Would it be okay.
Immensely.
So
but
there
is helps keep you awake, right. Like keep you on your feet. Yeah.
I think it's something to think about.
I mean, like I already built like pulls out this like crossbow.
Okay.
Like a rudimentary firing system. I've been testing it out on some people, just
with their permission.
They move too fast. What?
You can get a shot of caffeine already. You can just get a shot of espresso without having to shoot espresso.
It's not fast enough though. This is
Okay.
faster.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
That's, smart.
You see the problem, right?
I guess, yeah. I would keep working on it. I mean, it's someone, you see your allies lagging in the field, and you think they, need a pick me up. Just shooting them, and they get faster. That's something. That's something you're thinking. You're thinking outside of the box, outside of the triangle here.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that.
Thanks.
And there is we got a little our developer of the quarter coming up soon, so you might keep up the good work and maybe try shooting less of your coworkers while testing. We do have test dummies, and they have bloodstreams in them that you can test because we have to test medical stuff.
Yeah, but they don't scream. And
okay, that's true. We could mod that. I could mod screams into our test dummies
yeah.
Okay.
It should be painful, but not that painful.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to gauge based on sound.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You see, he takes out. He has a little a little notebook that he takes out, and you just see him scribble you can't even tell. It seems like maybe just one or two words, and then quickly closes it and puts it in his back pocket. Okay, cool. Morning meeting, 20 minutes. Don't be late.
Okay. Yeah.
As you take aim with another crossbow.
I just
we see that crossbow bolt loose down the hallway as it sticks into the wall, and the person next to it goes, "What the fuck?" We then continue down this hallway where we find Mick. Mick, what are you doing, and what does Mick look like?
Hi, yeah. So Mick is 6'4". He is this huge. He's this really tall, kind of broad-shouldered man with a bald head, a very thick, a very thick, wide nose. He's got the full goatee going on, excellently manicured to perfection, and very thick, bushy eyebrows, and soft brown eyes. He's in his signature jacket. He's never seen without this, even when on his off days. If any of his coworkers see him, he has the jacket on. Has got a kind of flowery floral pattern shirt with mostly black with some light brown, some light blue, some oranges in there. Very nice with a a little sweater vest over it. No glasses, and is sitting in front of his desk. Has pulled out his thermostat bottle essentially, and is taking a big swig from it. And has just gotten it a few moments ago, and has sat down at the desk, is logging in, and is about to start checking any of the emails and any of the headlines and any of his contacts to see if there's anything that happened with the Appalachian division that he needs to handle. Not that he really expects anything. Hardly anything ever happens here, but he goes through the motions.
Yeah. I think as soon as you log in, you get a message pops up. As soon as your status set to online, in the Slack channel, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does Triangle Agency a Slack? Are they Teams people? What do we think? I think
Slack with 3 A's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slack. Perfect. This is why you're research and development.
I developed the Slack app.
All the A's look like little triangles.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, they Slack you. It's one of your coworkers, Luman. Just kind of slacks you and just says, "Hey," and then nothing else. And then do you respond to the hey? Do you say anything, or are you waiting for her to say more?
Mick lets out a huge fucking sigh. He responds knowing that Luman won't say anything back until he says something to like continue the conversation. Good morning. What can I do for you?
You see, she responds and says, did you finish that report from Friday on the recent corrections and pre-corrections on local newspapers?
Again, he sighs at this, takes another swig from his bottle, looks somewhere on your desk, finish it before I left it on your desk.
I think, yeah, she thumbs up, reacts to it, and then Mick, you go about your work a little bit more, and then probably like less than 2 minutes later, she says, you get another message from Luann, says, on my desk? Are you sure?
He thinks to himself, if I get up and go over there and I find it, and just kind of sighs, shakes his head, and instead of like trying to describe in intricate detail to her where this is, gets up, leaves his office, walks over to hers, and from under a stack of scattered papers, pulls the folder with the report out.
She looks, as you approach. She's a young woman with like kind of messy blonde hair and like a very colorful blouse. And looks as you pull that out and says, "Oh, under the papers. Okay, that makes more sense since those papers did get put on there this morning, and that was from a couple days ago. That makes more sense. Thank you. You didn't have to come all the way over here, Nick, but that's very kind of you."
It's okay. I love to make sure, you said you were having a little bit of trouble, wanted to come over and help, and then splashes like a big grin.
She goes, "Oh, you have a little something," and she has like a little handkerchief. She says, "Let me get," and she goes to like get something on your face, and she pulls it back and says, "Oh, there's a little blood on your mouth there. Are you bleeding? Are you okay?"
Fuck. Hold on. Me and BJ was about to lie. I was like, wait, no. Says, probably I'm it's a diet. All the fads and stuff. It's a thing I'm doing.
So is the diet is it making you bleed more, or is the diet you ingesting blood?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, hey, I love those new fad diets. You should send it over to me when you have a chance. But morning meetings in 20 minutes if you want to head over there in a little bit.
Heads back to his desk. VJ, I want to note. So he's using diet as like not like in the using diet in the like this is what I eat sense, unless the I'm on a new diet.
Yeah.
But obviously,
he's doing keto.
She's gonna take what she wants. Yeah, she's gonna take what she wants.
Yeah. And then you go back about your work.
Can I say that he spends like 10 minutes looking for blood-based diets to send to her real quick? Like,
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Finds a really gnarly one. It's like,
yeah, like some good, weird offshoot of the carnivore diet where, you're like, it's essentially just raw meat and blood. It's gross, but you're like, I guess, sure,
and sends it over to her.
Yeah. You see 20 minutes pass as you guys finish up your work, your first entry work, and then it is time for you guys to head to your morning meeting. The morning meetings are split up by the different field agent teams that are here in the Triangle Agency. you guys are all a part of the M team. So you have your own little breakout room, your own little conference room that you all head into. There's a couple minutes before the morning meeting is set to start. It's just like a small conference room with like, one of those large tables that has probably like 8 chairs around it, and like a large TV screen on one end. But yeah, the 3 of you all come into this room before the meeting starts. For you to talk amongst yourselves before the meeting begins.
Does anybody need some caffeine? It's like a smaller crossbow.
My drinks got me covered.
Sure. Does it actually hurt?
I think it's this one is smaller. It stings a little bit.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, you immediately feel a rush. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Margot's probably almost definitely got massively undiagnosed ADHD and is just like, like the initial shock of shot me. Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Drinking coffee's too slow.
Yeah. Takes too long. I usually forget where my cup is too. So
exactly.
That doesn't
I
help.
forget where my cup is. I keep having to go back to the baristas to get more coffee. Like at a certain point, like they're giving me 20 coffees a day.
How many of those shots have you done today?
Define day. Is it the last time I slept or the last 24 hours?
Since you've been in the office for the start of work today, how many of those shots have you taken?
12, but they were all different dosages.
I will mention it is probably like 10:30 at this point. You've been here for like probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. Some of them were just to test the delivery system, really. So they were just like a milligram or like half a milligram of caffeine.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you all get settled into your you get seated as you see the TV screen turns on, and you see your manager, Darla Newt, who is a young woman with like dark red hair that's like goes straight down, is wearing a like lime green poofy shouldered like shirt, and has like a very vibrant butterfly pin right here, and she immediately, like, her eyes are bright behind her glasses, and has like a very toothy smile as she starts the meeting. Says, "Good morning, M team."
Morning.
Morning.
Lovely. I hope you all are having a great day today so far. And good news, you all are going to be going in the fields tomorrow.
Yes.
Yay, yays all around. Excuse me. She like takes out her little like notepad, and she's like trying to make eye contact with each of you individually, even though she's not in the room with you, and is like just on the screen and is just kind of approximating where you guys are. She is very accurate with it. She like shockingly like is able to like connect with you all, and you've never figured out how she can do that. And she continues, says, "You guys will be heading up to Abbingdon, Virginia. A little bit outside of Abingdon, Virginia. A wonderful place, many historical landmarks from the state of Virginia reside there. It's a gorgeous little mountain town. because we have believe we have found the epicenter of the whistle. You all know the whistle. You've heard of the whistle. The whistle is kind of a legend it's kind of the white whale, I guess, of the Appalachian division. I think, and all of you are kind of have spent time in or like have lived a long time in the mountains, and you've all heard to never whistle into the mountains, and if you ever hear a whistle, to never whistle back, especially at night. After coming to the Triangle Agency, you all were informed that that is in fact an anomaly, alteration in reality that causes distress amongst mundane people's lives. And it's been so hard to track down because it happens all over the Appalachian Mountains. And so like it's kind of been hard to find where it centers. It seems like that center might change. So like every once in a while there's like, oh, we found the epicenter of the whistle, and then it doesn't pan out. So it's like it's exciting to you, but you also there's underlying disappointment of like, oh, this is probably going to be something that doesn't turn into anything. Oh well. But Darla continues, and she says, yeah, in just outside of Abbingdon, about 15 miles down the trails into the woods, there is a woman who claims that her daughter started to exhibit very strange behavior after a loud whistle was heard in the woods. And normally we wouldn't, track these minor individual interactions with the whistle, but his daughter seems to be having a very strong reaction. So we believe this is either the epicenter or a very concentrated anomalous activity of the whistle. So you guys are going to be sent out there, meet with this woman, check out her daughter, possibly interact with some of the local park rangers, and see what you can find. Any questions?
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, cool. Do we need to pack anything?
Your car will be packed and ready in the parking lot tomorrow morning. Just come right to work as you normally would, and then there will be a nice little truck for you guys to take up there. It's about a 4-hour drive.
Cool.
I think that's correct. Let me double check because I'm making that up right now. Hold on.
Need the accuracy.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourself.
Well, if this pans out, I guess people really can whistle at night then.
It's about a 2-hour drive.
Oh, nice.
And then so those you should be all packed. All of your supplies that you need. If there's any incidentals that you believe you might need on the way, aside from the normal stuff, just you can bring that on your own.
Cool.
And anything else you need between now and then, you can send me an email. We can set up a Zoom meeting if you need to talk face to face. And other than that, you can continue your day-to-day work for the rest of today.
Okay. How fast can we make the test dummies scream? Is that something in requisition?
I'll send an email to someone who will deal with that.
Great. Thank you. I don't know what noises crossbows make, but this one makes a shotgun noise.
Why not?
We'll put it in post. Hold on. This is what a crossbow sounds like. Great. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to add?
I think right at this moment, as he's asked that, he's taking another big swig out of his water bottle, out of his thermo bottle. No, I'm fine.
Great. All
Wait,
right.
actually, has the mother talked to anybody else about what's going on with the daughter? Do I need to contact the local authorities, news, anything like that? Medical personnel?
She has talked with a local doctor, and she did make a post about it on Facebook, which has been viewed by a total of 7 people, 2 of which were our own agents. It is undetermined whether or not we need to interact with the medical professional yet. You may need to, depending on the daughter's condition. But good looking out.
Okay.
All right. If that's it, I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. And then it clicks out. Margot, at this point, that since you just got that one shot, you got about like 5 minutes of caffeine and are now crashing.
Awful. I hate that.
Meanwhile, Maude is just sitting there with like a notepad, like.
You've hooked up like EKG like monitors on her.
They have triangle pads instead of circles.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you feel now?
Like all of the caffeine just got drained from my body.
Interesting. That was the draining feature that I put in because I was trying to like see if I can wean off the tail end of a caffeine hit. It looks like it went too fast.
Yeah, sucks.
Okay. Well, here's a different dosage if you want it.
Maybe later. I'll think about it.
All
Promise.
Right. Okay.
Great. So you guys disperse, go on about the rest of your day. I would love to ask, is there anything for like the rest of your work day that you would like to touch on before we kind of go to the next morning? Anything of note you think happens?
Okay, first I have a question. Human Guy VJ, I've forgotten. People don't know about our agency, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Second, this is in character. Who would Mick need to go talk to about hacking into a medical records and whatnot? Because Mick would prefer to know what's happening, what's going on with the doctor and whatever, very much upfront. Likes to go into a situation with as much info as possible.
Let me double check. I feel like it would be, you know what, you could probably find an intern who would be able to do that for you.
Excellent. Yeah, he goes and finds one of the interns, whoever it is, just kind of waits until they're done whatever they're doing. Like if they look out, be like, no, it's all right. You finish what you're doing. Very considerate.
Yeah, you find like a can't be older than 22 stick of a man with like tousled brown hair that should be cut at this point but has not been because God knows he's not being paid, so he can't afford a haircut. And he is like he's like delivering coffees. Mm-hmm. So like you're kind of just following him as he has like several the 4-cup carriers. He has like several of those waiter style.
To carry 2 of them.
The intern says, if I let you carry any of these, I will get 2 demerits. So, but thank you for the offer.
Understood.
And it doesn't take too long. He is able to do that fairly quickly. And he says, Mr. Johnson, how can I help you?
What's his name?
This is Tyler.
Tyler, you can call me Mick just like everybody else can.
Okay, Mr. Mick.
Listen, so we have to go and check out an anomaly tomorrow, and kind of runs down and gives him the details of what he's been told. If possible, could you take the daughter's name and search the local medical files and see what exactly was told to the doctor, what the doctor discovered, so I can know what's happening and can try and figure out how I'm gonna handle that.
Oh yeah, I can absolutely. Yeah, no, that I could do that in my sleep for sure. Yeah, I graduated top of my class from MIT, computer science. So
Excellent. Question: am I allowed to give? Actually, never mind. Is going to, you know what? Excellent job. I appreciate that. And is going to like reach into his pocket and pull out like $50. Appreciate the good work. And then heads back to his desk.
he just like kind of has to like. Was it like a $50 bill, or was it like several?
It's like literally a $50 bill. Also, he's known for doing this. He'll just like to the interns. He's known for doing this. He doesn't do this to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, thank you. I really appreciate it. You're doing great work. And then hands like a 20 to like goes 20. Yeah, I was about to say an 80 that doesn't exist. A 20 to a 50.
Yeah, we follow Tyler as he goes back to. He doesn't have a desk, but he does have a like counter that he has a laptop on. That kind of all the interns have like, you know, around. There's like a jar that says Mick Johnson's tip jar that has a bunch of like $50 and $20 bills that he just like adds to it. Who knows what the interns are saving up for? As he starts clicking away on his laptop. Maude or Margot, do you guys do anything? I guess Maude, they do get you screaming test dummies that you're able
Excellent.
to. Yeah.
Crossbow noise.
They then eventually are like, oh, we should move Maude to the soundproof room because people were complaining. And Margot, were you gonna do something, or you don't gotta?
Yeah, I was trying to find my like competency because honestly, she's one of the newest at the job. She probably frequently forgets that she has something other to do at the agency besides just waiting for them to send her on a job, which is not frequent, but is her thought of her prime directive, even though it is definitely not. Eventually wanders over to her actual job and is answering phone calls for hotline.
It's a lot of essentially what the hotline does is like you get calls that normally would be sent to like regular agencies or like, you know, people that, you know, are could possibly be anomalous in nature, and you like screen them and then send them to the right person, or like if you can help them, you help them. I feel like Margot, like anytime, because like Margot, you have your experience as a park ranger, and like your like naturalist experience. Anytime someone has something that you have decided is not anomalous, but like is something a park ranger would answer, you still like will, you know, try and help them, even though that like, you are supposed to send them on to the next person.
It's actually like a broken leg. I'm like, okay, this is how you like. We'll splint it. Like you should go to the ER, but like, do you have like bandages? Okay, ripped your shirt. Like just
for sure.
Spending more time. She definitely seems like the kind of person that would be late to everything. She never is. She seems like the person that is always constantly forgetting where she's going and where she needs to be. Always on time. Never early. Always on time.
Exactly on time. A wizard is never late. Never early. Always that. Mick, around a little bit later in the afternoon, I'd say probably like 2 p.m., you get an email from Tyler at triangleagency.net that says it's like, here's those records that you requested, Mr. Mick. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you out. Smiley face. Signed with like dash Tyler, and like there's like an inspirational quote underneath it. But you do you look over these medical records?
First, he pulls out his phone and Venmos Tyler another $20 for the prompt delivery of it.
You see in like the Venmo history that Tyler then takes that 20 and like you see Tyler sends $20 to like it's like TA intern pool.
every time he notices that, he just kind of sighs. Obviously, he in his head, he's just like, well, I can't tell him what to do with it, but you think he'd use some of it to get a haircut. It's clear he wants one. Yeah, starts looking at the information.
Yeah, you pull up the what's it called, the medical form. You see the young woman, her name is Soraya Taylor. She is 15 years old. She was experiencing convulsions, bouts of paralysis, and like talking nonsense. I'm sure that they said it in a more medical way, but that, like, you know, you kind of understand, like, they were like talking nonsense. And it specifically says like the nonsense they were talking of, like they were talking about going to the source. Like, I must go to the source. I must return to the source. Let's go to the source. That kind of thing. And then, yeah, it's like the doctor then like kind of like, you know, recommends some like anticonvulsant medicine, and like bed rest, and like also like, you know, this is like from a tiny local medical center. Like, it doesn't seem super fancy. And like it writes a recommendation for a psychiatrist for the daughter to be referred to.
Okay, Mick is going to send a message to Tyler. Can you hold on a second.
Crossbow noise.
Mick is going to send a message to Tyler and say, what is he trying to do here? He's gonna send a message to Tyler and he's going to say, can you get me listed in the can you do two things for me? One, can you fill out whatever paperwork, do whatever you need with the signature to make it so that I'm someone that could talk about this current patient? And two, however you need to put me in the clinic's database as someone who like backspaces. One, do the first bit. Two, can you find information on what could reasonably cause these symptoms that isn't a anomaly? Anything that can fit. Venomous snake, hallucinogenic mushrooms, anything like that. Like something that technically could cause this, even if a part of it is like way out there, but it still technically could do it. And then once you've figured out the best match for that, can you also go ahead and list me in the database, in the hospital's database records as like a specialist or whatnot on the topic?
Yeah. You see after like you hit send and then immediately see the little dots popping up that he's typing back. And then, 30 seconds later, he says, "Will do, sir." And then within 20 minutes, you get a message back of a couple links of different things that could cause, the convulsions and the speaking weirdly and the paralysis. He sends you a link that talks about the real cause of the witches in the Salem witch trial, of the moldy bread and stuff. And there was poisonous spiders. There were certain foods. There was also certain just actual medical, certain types of epilepsy, could have been an aneurysm, that kind of there's other things that it could have been. And he says, "Is there one of these specifically you want to be an expert in, sir?"
Does the aneurysm one by any chance say, hey, could have been an aneurysm, but these typically heal on their own and don't typically show up on medical scans? Because he's unsure. Well, actually, in the medical records, did it show any brain scans or anything like that?
No, I think this is again a very small,
gotcha. Excellent.
GP situation. They don't have an MRI. Yeah.
Okay, so looking at it, he looks at the like aneurysm one. He's specifically looking for something like if he goes like his brain's like if he goes with aneurysm, they probably can't check it, but also it needs to be one that isn't going to kill her and then have them send her off somewhere further. So he's like, is this one of those ones that like this is kind of how they present themselves when they burst, but they'll heal on their own kind of things.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I have absolutely no knowledge of aneurysms on my own, other than what I've seen from Grey's Anatomy. I'm saying it's one that could have been missed on a scan if they did do a scan or like on many tests. That like it would grow would grow and then could dissipate on its own. Like there's there is a % chance that it will heal on its own.
Okay, cool. Then he'll say, yes, that one, please.
Cool. Yeah, so he gets you in as a neuro doctor that specializes in like minor aneurysms and stuff like that.
Excellent. Yep. Cool. He's good. He'll send another $30 Venmo. He's good after that. He's like, okay, excellent. He'll Venmo $30 and say, he's trying to find a nice way to say, please use this to get a hair. Oh, wait. He'll say, I've been Venmo's it, and then a note says, I've been noticing you've been pushing your hair out of your face more often than you usually do. It looks like it's probably longer than you like, so maybe use this to get a haircut. And then sends another $30. You can put this in the intern pool.
You see, yeah, the $30 you send for the intern pool goes to the intern pool. Yeah, cool. So you guys finish out your day. You head out. You blend in amongst the crowds at the Biltmore. Sorry, I was just reading your message, Storm. We have someone with medical stuff in the
I just
chat.
feel weird inputting.
Listen,
I don't like to actually.
Personally.
Listen, I did a whole series set in a hospital, and I still don't. I'm like, sure, yeah.
Fair enough. There's anomalies.
You guys, you blend in the crowds of the Biltmore as you leave. No one suspecting that there is a giant facility beneath them that goes who knows how far deep and who spreads how far wide. Literally, who knows? No one knows. The sun sets over the mountains as you all go back to your own residences. When you return, or is anything anyone want to touches on their evenings, or we can just go right to the morning? Great, right to the morning. You all return. Oh yeah.
Sorry, one quick thing. Mick goes home to his mostly bare house. It's like it is nicely decorated, but it is very bare, save for the decorations.
Minimalist.
Yeah, thank you. Minimalist. It's very much that. Goes lives kind of lives in an apartment complex. It's not like super fancy or anything. Definitely not what he was used to when he was like when he was the senior director or junior director for the PR division in another state. Goes home, pulls out some like meat and stuff, starts cooking it, and goes next door to his neighbor, who is elderly woman, that he like just kind of cooks for every night. And that's all. That's it.
Cute. Yeah, you all you wake up the next morning and head back to the Biltmore, where you see a black truck. I don't know trucks. I'm not that kind of southerner.
Ford F-150.
Sure, yeah. Is parked that you all recognize. This is the truck that you normally take when you go out on field missions. There's a couple like duffel bags and stuff packed into the back. A quick glance over shows that's like there's some like outdoor exploration equipment, some like camping equipment. There's various clothes that are like could be used as disguises during like investigations. If so, you choose what sort of person you want to portray. And then basically like anything you want, as like a simple mundane item will be in this trunk. I will say, is there anything specific that any of you want to be in this trunk or like bring on your own? You're like, you have your requisitions, your normal requisitions, that you would have kept on your person.
I would say that I think Margot has packed her own go bag. Not because they don't have decent equipment, she just likes her own specific stuff. Of just
absolutely, yeah.
Like the tents are fine, but just like any kind of like first aid kit and like multi-tool and rope and all of that. She just finds comfort in bringing her own stuff, so she knows exactly where it is. So there is a secondary, much older looking backpack, like well maintained, but definitely not corporate standard, just kind of chucked on top of all the other stuff.
Nick has like a cooler that one side keeps things cold, the other side keep things hot, and like it's got a clasp on it and a little like code that you have to punch into it to open it.
Yeah. And the rest of you know not to ask about it.
Stuff comes out of it, stuff goes into it. The details are not important.
Does Maude bring a caffeine crossbow?
Yeah. Oh, Maude brings a bunch of little caffeine like darts, like throwing darts.
Yeah, for sure.
Decided on a less forceful option, as it instead elected for little modified trank darts that are also like bar darts.
Hell yeah,
normal.
Totally. Yeah, much better than a crossbow. Dart noise.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving myself work.
There's just gonna be nothing edited in it.
Yeah.
It'll just be the clip of you saying dart noise.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, you get in. It's only like a 2-hour drive. But if you guys either take shifts or if someone wants to drive the whole way,
I'll drive.
You'll drive, yeah. I feel like it's
jumping in the front seat.
It's Fractal.
Yeah.
Holding on to you.
You don't see Fractal. Fractal. Fractal by default is somewhere near Margot. You usually do not see Fractal. Margot knows where Fractal is.
Yeah.
Charm.
Yeah.
Maud's probably actually looking for Fractals. Like, all right. Goggles,
yeah.
I don't know if you ever played that game when you were a kid on very long road trips where you just like imagine things like running through the woods next to your car.
Yes.
It might be Fractal. There might actually be something there this time. But yeah, unless someone has a very strong opinion also on what music should be playing on the way there, Margot is playing her own. So I don't know if anyone has any specific recommendations.
ABBA.
All right.
It starts, it's ABBA, and then goes into the Mamma Mia soundtrack, and then the Mamma Mia movie soundtrack, and then...
And then the Mamma Mia 2 movie 2 soundtrack.
When we get to 2, Mick pulls out his own phone and his headphones and just pops them into his ears. Wait a minute, do you really snap your headphones?
You must listen to ABBA. It is our bonding activity.
Wait. He pulls out battery powered earbuds and pops those in.
And there is like a GPS system that already has the address. You see, you're going to 333 Pine Loop Drive in Abbingdon, Virginia. You follow the directions as you head on. It mostly takes you kind of up the Blue Ridge Parkway, which goes, if any of you have not ever driven on the Blue Ridge Parkway, it's gorgeous. I'm going to say it's the fall because Blue Ridge Parkway in the fall is like my favorite thing to do. But yeah, it takes you about 2 hours to get there. Actually, no. It takes Margot exactly however long she wants it to take to get there. And then I think by like about halfway there, Mick, I think you get a little message on your phone saying like you've been requested specifically to like go and talk with this family as an expert in possible aneurysms. And like if the like it specifies like the daughter has to become less mobile. So if you could go and visit her at home, that would be most advisable. Then yeah, you guys pull like kind of pull through the town of Abbingdon. It's a very small town. Has like some like historic buildings and some other just kind of normal suburban houses. You pull through this and then kind of get on like an off-road, like almost like it starts as a normal road and goes fully dirt road as you're going through like the trees, going uphill. It's a very bumpy ride as you guys make your way along. Eventually, you pass a couple like scattered houses, and eventually you get to you see like there's the mailbox that says 333 Pine Loop Drive, and then there's like a driveway that leads a little bit further into the woods, and you follow that to a very quaint looking cabin, dark brown woods, very comforting looking. It looks like there's like a smoke coming out of their chimney. There's a car in the driveway. A kind of like nice little like sedan. And you see sitting on the porch is like kind of a like mid 40s, like into her 50s, black woman she has her hair in braids. Kind of like it's like that kind of like it starts like light gray, goes to dark gray, and then is like black at the ends. Kind of like a little bit past her shoulder. She's kind of sitting on the porch with a like a mug in her hands. She stands up as you guys approach. And do you guys what do you guys do before you get out of the car?
I think Mick says, let me take the lead on this one. I won't. Nope. Let me just take the lead on this one. At least this part.
Notes.
Got a plan then?
Yes, I had Tyler do a bunch of research on what the doctor had said. Had me listed as a expert on aneurysms that can cause this kind of behavior that have a chance of healing on their own or getting worse. So depending on what happens here, we're covered either way. And I've apparently been requested. So
Cool.
I'm gonna, we'll go in there, figure out what's going on, let them know.
Awesome. All right.
So yeah, you guys, you get out of the car. The woman kind of comes down to meet you, and she turns and she's, are y'all the doctors?
Mick Johnson, happy to meet you. Sorry, it's under such terrible circumstances.
She takes your hand. She's Michelle Taylor. It's lovely to meet you all as well. You can tell, like her, when she grabs her hand's like cold and clammy. Like she seems nervous, not like nervous to meet you guys, but obviously like nervous that her daughter is sick.
Mm-hmm.
And she's come on in. I'm sorry for the noise. You guys don't hear a noise at the moment, but just we need your help. And she leads you up onto the porch and opens the door. And as soon as she like opens the door, you just hear the sound of like screaming. Of like it sounds like someone who has been screaming for like hours at this point. Like her voice sounds raspy. Like you can hear that like undertone of like tiredness in her scream. And And Michelle says, "That's Soraya. She's been doing that all morning. Do you want to see her, or do you want to? Is there something you want to talk first? If you want to talk, we should probably do it outside. Or we can, if you want to go, I can talk with your associates.
I'm the one of the three of us that's knowledgeable on this in particular. They'll be learning. If you would prefer to have them wait and as I interact with your child, that's also fine. But they'll be learning as I'm talking to you.
Okay, sure, yeah. Lovely. So
my deepest apologies. One of the reasons why I was already here, despite living a little ways away, was planning on coming to check out the nearby forest. So with these aneurysms and other aneurysms as well, certain environmental factors can cause the development of them, and other things. So was planning on taking a look around regardless for various purposes. And they were going to be here helping with the looking around the area.
Okay, yeah. And Soraya, she's a hiker. She goes out into the mountains, she's does it on her own, but like it's doesn't go too far. I have her location and stuff. She's never too far. It's not anything like that. But could it have happened out there? There was a strange there was a whistling sound the day that this started, and she came back and was different. It was there were two whistling sounds. But
I will and looks to Maude and gives a look of please write that down. I will make a note of that. I'm not familiar of any whistling sounds that could cause aneurysms to either rupture or cause them to be one of the ones that form outside of potentially a very clinical setting. But I will keep that in mind as we go further out and look around. How often does your daughter hike? How many years has this been going on?
She hiked with her father. He's a truck driver. He's out. He's been out for he's out on the road until next week. But when he has his summer, summers off, they hike together. But been doing that since she was 8. She's been doing it on her own since she was probably 12. But it's I'm honestly more of a stay inside girl, but it's what she loves. So I support it.
And truly good on you. Lots of people your daughter's age are out doing God knows what. If the worst thing she's doing is hiking, who can really complain about that? But yes, let me if you don't mind us seeing her.
Yeah, definitely. You see, she leads you into the house, into through there's the den sitting area. There's a fire in the fireplace. Very comforting, very comfortable living space. Plush, rug under the couch. High ceilings, large windows. She leads you kind of down this hallway into a back room that the further back you go, the louder the screams are. She leads you to a closed door that the screams are coming from, and she says, "In here, it's a little. I'm gonna stay out here if that's all right. It's a little hard for me to take a look at." And she opens the door and kind of without looking inside, swings the door open. She says, "Soraya, there's some people to see you." And you see a young girl's bedroom. The walls are painted like a seafoam green. There's kind of like mess of like clothes strewn about, and some like school books and papers on her desk. And you see a like 4-poster bed that has a young black girl that is in like kind of a pajama set that is strapped down by her arms and legs to the bed, who is screaming. Her eyes are like bulging out of her head and is like shaking as you see her eyes like do move to you guys as you walk in, but the screaming doesn't stop.
What hey Dan.
Hey.
Mechanically, what are our options in this situation?
I mean, if any of you have any anomaly abilities that you'd be able to like help out, like take a look at what's going on. Otherwise, if you want to just like kind of take a look and see, at the moment it doesn't seem like there's anything that's like you would have to ask the agency for, but maybe possibly at some point there might be. That's the thing, is like there's really only things. Oh, sorry, Maude.
I can I try and use my anomaly ability, your best self? Perhaps?
Sure.
Is there like a closet in this room?
Yeah, I'd say there's a
a
Maude-sized
into the closet.
wardrobe that you could. Is
Like to try and find an alternate version of myself that's really good at this doctor stuff. Perhaps.
Yeah. What does it look like as you approach this closet? And go ahead and roll your D4s for me.
All right, so this is
While they're doing that, here's an explanation on how rolling in this game works.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jane Smith, and I am your expert in causal reality. As an agent, there are times where you may want the agency's help to intervene and alter reality just a little bit. At the moment, the agency controls about 25% of known reality. However, thankfully, our patented dynamic retrocausal probability enhancement system lets us channel energy from 5 of the known futures in which the agency has complete control over reality. This means our field agents have a total of 6 chances of success. For those of you controlling our agents, this means that you will have 6 tetrahedrons, or D4s, to use any time you want to request the agency to intervene on the agent's behalf. If you roll at least 1 3, the roll is considered a success. However, any tetrahedron that displays anything other than a 3 will contribute to the destabilization of reality, creating chaos. And if a 3 is not present, the roll is considered a failure, and bad things can happen. But that probably won't happen. Just remember, think 3 and you'll be free.
Two threes?
I got 2 3s, yeah.
Well, so that means I get some chaos. What? Okay.
No, what they?
Nothing. So yeah, you on a success, an alternate version of yourself is inside this closet. They have one particular skill that is useful to your current situation, such as whittling, whistling, whisking, etc. They disappear from your world within the hour. What skill do they have?
I think some because she's like screaming.
Yeah.
Probably someone who can calm her down. Like a very soothing alternate self.
Yeah.
I think how Maude does it, it's the and then here's the knock knock as the other the self answers back with the last two.
I think there's like a little like some fog rolls out as another version of you steps out, and I immediately am imagining, I don't know if any of you have watched Severance.
Yeah.
I'm
So
imagining
concerning that you are our GM and are watching so much Severance.
but I'm imagining kind of like, Miss Casey. Like I'm imagining her stepping out, like with that kind of very calming demeanor. And she says, "Hello. There's someone screaming. What's that about?"
She's the whistling.
Okay.
Sure made her not feel good.
Okay.
Hence the screaming. And we kind of need to talk to her. So maybe just calming down a little bit. Just toning down.
You see, she nods. You nod. Yes, nods, and walks over to the bed and kind of sits down, and begins to just kind of like calmingly kind of stroke her like forehead and her hair, and it's just humming lightly, and like you guys feel calm in this situation as she's doing this. You're like, oh, this is looking kind of nice. It's like just a very like very calming, very almost like motherly situation as she's just like looking deeply into her eyes, and into Saraya's eyes, and I think after probably like a couple minutes of this, Saraya kind of clears her throat and stops screaming, and your dear clone stands up and says, "Well, I'm here for another 55 minutes, so if that starts up again, I'll just be standing over here."
Yeah, why don't you just stand back in the closet just in case the mom comes back in?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll stand in a teenager's closet, sure.
Yeah. I mean, would you rather hide under the bed?
Nope.
There might be
Teenager's
someone
closet.
under the bed already.
Yeah.
You just see Fractal.
Just the long hand, like dark.
How did Fractal get down there? I want to know. How does Fractal move? It would be so useful.
I think you.
Too many joints.
Too many joints.
I think it uses the shadows. Maybe.
As you guys are talking about that, you see Saraya, whose like mouth is tightly closed. Her eyes are moving, like pinpointing at each of you, moving in succession. Looking at you.
Triangle, yeah.
A triangle, yeah. What do you guys do as this is happening? Do then you say anything or try to speak to her?
I'll look to Mick and be like, "Do you want to talk, or did you just want to talk to Mom to get us in here?"
Kind of. Well, I knew me like leading it to put the mom at ease so that we could have a private conversation and really take a look would be one thing. Maybe we do need to have a, and it's kind of like has kind of come over like back turned like and trying to like
huddle up.
Yeah, so
I mean, just ask her like stuff.
I mean,
like
yeah, we could ask her stuff. Do you want to do that? I mean,
yeah, I've got.
Okay, but look.
Maude flicks out like a long list that just like rolls out.
All right, but you know what? You do your thing. Go ahead. I'll step in if we're needed. But you go ahead.
Okay. Hello, Saraya. It is nice to meet you. I am name from Redacted. I am here to discuss with you the experience that you may have had and understand what you may have experienced. Can you please tell me if any of the following things have happened? You have heard whistling, You smelled fudge where there is no fudge. You have done. It just kind of goes. Most pertinently hitting the like, hey, what were you doing? What did you experience? Where were you?
Mm-hmm.
What's the last thing you remember?
She looks at you, and then she says, return to the source.
The source of what?
She then just has like a couple moments of silence when she does that, kind of tracking you guys once more. And then she just whistles.
It's daytime, right? It's daytime.
And then you hear a moment later a whistle in the distance. And I think that's where we'll take our break, where we'll end this episode. Quick outro for this episode. This has been episode 1 of Triangle Agency Appalachian Division. I have been your general manager, Dan the Baker. You can find me at Dan_the_Baker wherever I want you to find me. Friends. Reverse. Sorry, we didn't discuss this. I'm sorry. Do your intro in reverse. Yeah. Tell people. Yeah.
Shit.
As your outro. Just say your name and where people can find you.
Storm Sorceress. Theoretically, currently most on TikTok. We'll see if that changes in like 2 or 3 weeks, but also Blue Sky, Instagram, Tumblr. So you can find me other places too.
Darby.
Oh, I thought we were doing. Sorry. Hi. No, don't point your gun at me.
Crossbow.
The darts. Hi, hello. My name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. You can find me on places with that handle. I do stuff and things, and you should follow along with what I do. Yeah.
Hi, my name is VJ Harris. I am VJH Creations or VJH_creations everywhere. If something wonky happens with TikTok, I might still be there under VJH Creation. No S. We'll see.
Great. As I said, I am Dan, aka Dan_the_Baker. You can find me anywhere under that where I want you to find me. You can always find me here at Open Table Adventures, where we'll have more actual plays, recipes, interviews, so much more. So make sure you stick around, and remember, you are always welcome to pull up a seat. Bye-bye.
All right. Should we get this over with? All right, let's do this. You know, the red ones really are the best ones. We're only good ones. Only good jelly beans out of these. That's good stuff. Is it still recording? Is this still recording? Is that still on? Great. Just great. I was like, you know how I like my coffee? Yeah, nobody does.